Hey guys, how's it going? This is another FSD video. Pretty simple drive. I'm just heading to pick up my wife, grabbing a coffee along the way. But Robotaxi came out today, this morning actually. So pretty much since first thing I woke up until minutes ago, I've just been on X, on YouTube, watching people's live streams, watching people tweet about it, talk about it. And it's a kind of a double-edged sword because ultimately it was incredibly uneventful, which is the best news possible. Like, there is no huge headline story from this other than so far the Robotaxi launch has gone incredibly well. Like, no issues at all. The app is great. People are enjoying it. So that's what you would want and hope for. It's just hilarious to me that after half a day of watching them, I'm now bored because ultimately it is just exactly what I'm doing. It is an FSD drive that is flawlessly functioning. There's a safety monitor in the passenger seat, but other than that, it's what's happening here in front of me, and it's the car is driving itself, and it's doing a really good job of it. So just to kind of explain exactly how it all worked, there was the invite that went out to, it seems like a very small group of people actually. Like, apparently there's only like 14 or 15 people in Austin right now. It's one of the numbers I've heard. But a very small group of people got this link, and so then the email to get invited. So then this morning, there was a test flight link sent out to those people, which included the Robotaxi app download. Everybody at 2 p.m. downloaded the Robotaxi app, and at that point, you could call the Robotaxi anywhere within the prescribed geofenced area, and I'll show these things on the screen as much as I can. So yeah, in the app you have a mapped area similar to Waymo, but Waymo in Austin is a bigger service area. I'll kind of show the two overlapped with each other, but you're free to go anywhere within that zone. The thing that's interesting comparing it to Waymo is that Waymo's a lot more particular about where you get dropped off and where you get picked up. Like, I've only driven in Waymo in LA, but when I did it, when I selected an address, it often told me, like, you need to go here to get picked up. And when I told it where I wanted to get dropped off, it's like, we'll get you close, but we're not going to get you right in front. Like, I'm not trying to discredit Waymo at all. I think they're very incredible with what they've done, but they're much more like in a box as to where they'll put you and where they can grab you from. Whereas Robotaxi pretty much seems to just be like, we'll get as close to you as we can, and then it works intelligently to find the spot to grab you or to drop you off. So for now, it seems like the cost for the rides is a flat fee that was announced basically as the app was given out, and Elon tweeted it out. It's $4.20. Don't take any information from that other than just, I think they wanted to have the payments and stuff working and see that it is functioning. That isn't obviously going to be the amount that Tesla charges in the future. I think it's just a placeholder number. It's funny, so of course, you know, Elon likes it. He's going to put it in there. But yeah, it's $4.20 to ride anywhere within that box, and from the sounds of it, everybody is paying that for every single ride that they do. And then I believe it was Phil, one of the Tesla AI engineers, posted a photo, and it's all the team, or most of the team, working in kind of like a control room center type thing. They've got a bunch of the feeds up on the screen. They have like statistics with miles driven. It looks like number of cars in the fleet, things like that. It is really cool to kind of see behind the curtain of like what's happening. So this, for a lot of people, I don't know. Like, obviously I don't know for sure, but I'm almost 1000% certain that these cars are not being remotely driven. There's just no way with latency and things like that. So likely what's happening is they're watching as many of the live streams as they can from the car's camera feeds. And then if there is an issue, it's, I would assume similar to Waymo's approach of just like, they prompt the car what to do. I don't think anybody's remotely driving the car. They're with LTE, 4G, it's just not possible. And the safety monitor sitting in the passenger seat certainly doesn't have the ability to do that. So yeah, it just gives you a little bit of insight on how Tesla's approach to this all is. It's very safe, but it is autonomous. These cars are driving themselves point A to point B, and that's something that I think a lot of people are really trying to discredit and say isn't actually happening, but that's what's happening. Like these cars are autonomous. They're driving themselves. The safety person is just there in case things go completely sideways, and all they can do is stop the car, pull over the car, or contact support. And then shortly before, or I think basically as the app was dropped to the early access group, there was a new Tesla account at Robotaxi, and as well there's a new website, tesla.com/robotaxi. So you can now go there. There's a bunch more information, things we didn't necessarily know about Robotaxi and how it's going to operate. Nothing groundbreaking, but kind of nice to see in one place kind of a lot of FAQs about Robotaxi and the questions that a person might have. It doesn't tell you the software version or anything kind of nitty gritty like that, but it is cool to see, and you can sign up if you live in the United States to be like notified if it moves into your service area. There's a biker right here. Let's see how we do. Perfect job. We're moving into the middle of the lane, giving them space, going around them. Did a better job than the car behind us, which didn't even move out of the lane for them. So that shows you that, in my opinion, FSD is safer than a human. I mean, that, and the car behind this guy did what we did, where they moved out of the lane, and I'm sure the biker would appreciate that versus not moving out of the lane at all. We should go. Perfect. Amazing job. That's something that I don't really think people are maybe realizing, like while I'm talking about all this, the car's driving itself, which used to be and still will be the focus of a lot of my videos, but because it does such a good job, most of the time I have nothing to talk about. So now that's why I'm trying to like make these videos shorter and more like Tesla news focused. So hopefully you guys like that format. Let me know in the comments if you do. And as well, if you enjoy these, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, helps the channel out immensely. There's 1,720 of you folks now subscribed. So I really appreciate all of you that have subscribed and have left comments and supported the channel. Okay, turning here. So something that people were wondering as well, and sorry, I'm kind of all over the map. I like wrote a few notes of information for me to go over, but something that people were asking is for the safety monitor, what questions can you ask them, things like that. Effectively, you're supposed to pretend like they're not there. Like you can say, hi, how's it going? But like you're not to talk to them really, and they're not going to answer any questions. So I think on Sawyer's stream, he asked what version of FSD is it running, and the safety monitor guy was basically like, if that's an answerable question, it will be on tesla.com/robotaxi. Like I can't give you any information, and any information you want to know about this is on the website. So for anybody wondering, that's going to be the canned response to any question that they have. We're going to miss this speed bump, so I'm going to disengage. There's another one up here too. It misses both of these quite often, which is strange because they're so well visualized. Another thing, so in the app, when you finish a ride, similar to Uber, Waymo, whatever, you got to leave a rating, and then there's also the option to leave a tip. And initially, I was really curious what they were going to do with that, because like, what is a tip for? There's a speed bump here. It's poorly marked. It's not that big, but I'm going to disengage. 2 seconds. Let's go through the drive-thru. Let's see how this goes. I'm not expecting the car to handle it because it can't, but it's always fun to see. So one thing that people maybe don't realize, maybe it'll go into the drive-thru on its own, is FSD here. I'll see. So we want to go in this either lane. The left lane would be the one I would do. Oh, okay, 1 sec. Okay, so object and path. So I'm just trying to show, because some people talk about the car stopping at like the barriers and stuff. So on its own, if it stopped here, that'd be great. Thank you so much. Have a good day. All right, so leaving the drive-through here, we should go left, easy. Got a car. No worries though. Okay, as I was saying, sorry we went into the drive-through there. You can leave a tip, which initially I was very confused about what that was going to be. I'll put it on the screen right now. It's funny what happens when you try and do it. So I think it's great to have like a little bit of like Tesla humor built into the app. I don't know if they'll leave that. I'm sure they'll remove that when it goes public, but for now it's funny. And just a huge shout out and thank you to the people who took the time, spent the money to fly down to Austin and have put the work in to make all this content. So thank you to Chuck, Cook, thank you to Sawyer, thank you to Dirty Tesla. Those are the three people. Zach, I think, too, was watching. There's a bunch of you guys, and sorry if I missed anybody. It's a lot of work, I know, because I do it as well. But to make content and be doing something and keeping up with it, especially when you're live streaming is very difficult. So props to all of you guys who did do it. Thank you so much for all your effort. It was hilarious actually seeing, I watched Dirty Tesla's entire stream and he kept getting stream sniped. So he'd like show up at a location, but because he'd put in that location in the phone, people would be waiting there for him. So he was really good about it. Like he was super nice to everybody that he met. I think I saw him take one literal random human being that he just met and allowed him to go on the ride with him, which was really nice. So yeah, thank you all of you guys for the work you do and appreciate it. So, and as well, while I had the live streams up, the cats were chilling on the deck with me watching. So it's kind of a funny photo, just like hanging out, watching people drive around in autonomous Teslas. And yeah, I don't love that we jumped in front of this car for no reason. I'm gonna put us back in this lane and maybe put it in, oh, okay, it's hard. We're like sort of right, sort of wrong. I shouldn't have done that, I guess. Because now we do need to get back over because this is a right turn only lane. And then something I noticed, I was watching a couple of the streams, and I think specifically I saw it in Chuck's, but they were in a 35 zone miles, and the car was going 38 or 39, which isn't crazy, but it is speeding, whereas Waymo does not speed. It will go exactly the speed limit or under. It just does not break the law as far as that's concerned. So, yeah, I mean, I drive all the time with a speed offset. I am constantly speeding in this car, and I think it's weird if the car doesn't. But I don't know how I feel about it with the Robotaxi speeding, because ultimately we should strive for safety, and the road's speed limit should be whatever the safe speed is. So it's this weird limbo where, yeah, oftentimes the speed limit feels like it's too slow, but then regulators need to work at like updating speed limits, because the speed limit is a limit for a reason, and for your autonomous Robotaxi to break that speed limit is a bit strange. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. I'm not throwing shade at all to Tesla to this, because literally as we're driving, we were speeding by 14, 15 kilometers an hour, and we're falling behind the person in front of us. So if we were going exactly the speed limit, it would be terrible. We'd have a line of traffic up behind us. But yeah, it was just, I was very curious to see how they're going to handle that, and they do definitely speed, and Waymo definitely does not speed. And then just, I guess, a couple of questions that people might have. Again, I'm probably not the best resource for this information since I didn't actually go, but I just figured I'd make this video and talk about it for anybody that wants to hear my impressions. But the way it works, you for the app and the whole experience, if you log into the app with your Tesla account, which is like your cloud profile, when you get into the car, like in the back seat, Spotify, Netflix, whatever you were logged into in your cloud profile, you're logged into immediately in the Robotaxi. So yeah, if you have Spotify and you're listening to something, as you get into the car, that music will be playing because it's like you got into your own car. It's a very cool touch. Waymo definitely doesn't have that. And yeah, like I imagine in the future, when you get us in the front, you'll have access then to Netflix and actually have like a screen that would be worth watching on, because on the screen back there, it's not really much. Like definitely the music controls are worthwhile for Spotify, but I can't see many people turning a movie on or YouTube while you're sitting back there on that small screen. And then as well in the app, when you request the ride, you get instructions when it says like your Waymo or your Robotaxi is like however many minutes away. It shows you a little icon of how to actually open the door. So for Tesla fans, it's something we all know, but for people that are new to Teslas, they're maybe not going to know how to open the door. So it tells you this is how you open the door, and to look for the Tesla with like a flashing rear lights to signify that that is the Robotaxi to pick you up. And then I think like I watched for quite a while. Like I said, I watched pretty much all morning, as many streams and this and that, and I only saw 2 issues, and they weren't major, but on Sawyer's stream, how did it all work out? So he was getting close to his destination, and there's a button in the back that you can hit that says like pull over, and so he hit that button, and the car was, I think, in the left turn lane, and then it just stopped there in the left turn lane, was basically like, your ride's done. And then they had to contact support to say like, hey, we hit the pull over button, the car stopped in the middle of the road, can you like get us going? And then support's like, oh yeah, no worries, and then prompted the car to go, and then immediately the car was like driving again on its own. But then it got stuck in this weird situation where the Robotaxi thought that the ride had ended, so the car now is just driving wherever. Like you can enable FSD with no address and it will just start driving, and that's effectively what the Robotaxi was doing, is it was just driving, because it then passed the destination that they asked, and they had to contact support again to be like, hey, can you put in the address that we tried to go to, because we're now going nowhere. So then support put in the address, and it routed them back, and it was fine. But I mean, not a safety related thing, just like a technical quirk, and that's to be expected. This is day 1 of a brand new software, brand new app. So not a huge deal. It's just worth mentioning. Like, I think being transparent about any issues are good, and that was one thing that I did see. And then the other thing I saw that was a little bit strange was they were leaving, I forget which stream it was, they were leaving a parking lot, and there's 2 cars turning right, and the Tesla wanted to turn right, and I think it misunderstood and thought those cars were stopped, and so it made the motion to like go around them to go turn right. And as it did, it seems like it got like just far enough that it realized that, no, I need to stay in this lane, so it stopped. But before it was doing that, the safety monitor, you could see he put his hands like on the screen, and there's one of his buttons is stop in place, and he had his thumb like hovered over the stop in place button. So he was ready to make like a safety stop effectively if the car continued any further, but it didn't, and it figured it out on its own, and it was all good. And then there was a really interesting video that got posted, I think before the Robotaxi rides even went live, for camera cleaning. I've even said this before in my videos, but like, if this camera gets clean, it'll occasionally do this to like wipe the thing, but it will never use washer fluid. And there was a video where the Robotaxi was using washer fluid, but also wiping in a different pattern. Like the like blades only went here to here, and it was just crossing in front of the camera. Like it didn't care about this part of the windshield because it only wanted to clean here to here. It was a very deliberate thing, and Elon even replied to it saying like, there's a lot of engineering in this. This is intentional. So very smart. makes a ton of sense, and I think that that's a really cool thing that they've done to fix a problem that can sometimes arise where that camera gets dirty on its own. And yeah, I think that's kind of everything that I would say is noteworthy from the launch. And like I said, I think that that's almost a great thing that there isn't much to talk about because it has seemingly gone so smoothly. We'll see as the rest of the day progresses here and as the weeks go on, because now it is just like Robotaxi is just available and out for the early access group, and I assume in the future will go more and more public and the area will get wider and wider. This is just the start of it, but yeah, congrats to Tesla. It's really, really cool. They've done an amazing job. I can't wait to try it. Yeah, we'll see. Like, if I get an invite before it goes more public, or if it goes public soon, I may very well fly out there. We also are kind of in a weird situation. No, we're good. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Have any of you tried it, or are you going to try it if it becomes available? Like, how many of you guys live in Austin that want to check it out? But let me know. That's going to be it for me. I have 21 more minutes of a drive, but it's going to be pretty straightforward because it's all just highway and it's easy. And I have full faith that the car will do it. So I will put on the screen right now, though, the entire drive and how it did in the Matter Key. The Matter Key report. I'm assuming it's going to be like 99% FSD again with likely 0 disengagements. But yeah, see you guys on the next one. I hope you enjoy these shorter videos that are more focused on a topic. Let me know in the comments what you think. Take care. Have a good day. Bye. You are